Good morning and welcome back to our virtual orientation. Today's sessions focus on living on campus, getting connected and involved, and campus safety and security. There will be opportunities for you to ask questions at the end of sessions, and you will once again type those in the chat box, and we will share the questions with the presenters. But before we get started, it's time for our daily giveaway. Congratulations to Taylor Newton. You have won a St. Mary's prize pack, and Jim Shudo will be reaching out to you for details. And without further ado, I would like to turn this over to Marcus D. Weems, Director of Campus Housing, and Samantha Alberto, Assistant Director of Residential Experience.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to be able to be joining you today to talk about campus housing, your home away from home, kind of learning the nuts and bolts about living on campus. My name is Marcus D. Weems, and I'm the Director of Campus Housing. And today I'm joined by Samantha.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha Alberto. I'm the Assistant Director of Residential Experience.
So let's talk a little bit about the differences between our two offices. The offices of Campus Housing and Residential Experience. The Office of Campus Housing really focuses on the facilities on campus, also the billing of students' accounts, as well as the logistics of living on campus, including keys, lockouts, room assignments, room switches as well. We work in partnership with Residential Experience to conduct those, as well as offering students meal plans with Sodexo services here on campus. And then we also work on billing those meal plans and doing room selection process. Our office is located in Farragero Hall in Suite 200 is where you can find us. We also have the Residential Experience Office, and Sam will talk a little bit about what the Residential Experience Office covers.
Thanks, Marcus. So the Residential Experience Office is really covering all of the experience that happens within the residence halls. And so we oversee a residential staff of resident advisors, resident directors, and resident mentors, which both Marcus and I forgot to mention that we also serve as resident directors living in the residence halls with students. We also oversee the living learning communities that are in the residence halls, as well as the programming arm and kind of student residence hall government, the Residence Hall Association. We also assist campus housing with room switch requests because we do want to ensure that there's educational moments with sharing a space with someone or sharing a hallway with someone. So we really try to work with students around community guidelines and any community conflicts or issues that arise within the halls. And we also do in-hall programming for this upcoming semester will be both virtual and in person. And our office is located on the first floor of De La Salle Hall, room 117. So what are we covering today? Today, we're gonna be covering where incoming first-year students will be living. We'll talk a little about the website and where you can view what the residence halls will look like and what community looks like when you get onto campus, how you'll be eating, what meal plans look like, where the dining hall is, etc. We'll also kind of give you the nuts and bolts about room selection since that's coming up around the corner, and then preparing for move-in. So what things you should bring and what to expect when you arrive on campus.
Awesome, thanks, Sam. Let's talk a little bit about our residence halls here at St. Mary's College of California. We have 6 residence halls that our first-year students will be able to live within. We have Assumption Hall, Augustine Hall, De La Salle, Justin and Mitty Hall, which are located here on your screen, are all our common first-year residence halls that share bathrooms within the community. So you will have one floor that will be all of the same gender in most of our residence hall floors, and they share a community bathroom. Every residence hall room comes with a bed, desk, dresser, a closet or an armoire for you as a student living in the residence halls. Of note, Very important to know when you're buying bedding for your beds that we use extra long twin beds, so not just your average twin bed. So when you're out shopping, make sure you look for that. We also partner with a company who will be sending you information about purchasing linen that can be shipped directly here or to your house that are perfect for our residence halls. So in all of our residence halls, not only do we have the traditional common bathrooms, but in your room, you will also have a sink available for you to help stay healthy and sanitized. And you can also brush your teeth and all that fun stuff right in your own room and everything. All these residence halls, as I mentioned, are community style. We also have one residence hall, which is Aquinas Hall, which is our suite style residence hall. And in that building, instead of having community bathrooms, we have suite bathrooms. And the suite bathrooms is basically made up of a small configuration of rooms, usually a double and a single on one side of the bathroom. And then on the other side of the bathroom is another double and single. Most of our residence halls rooms this year are going to be single occupancy. However, there are double occupancy rooms available. We did send out a form last week on Thursday evening to all first year students to submit kind of what your preference is so that we can help make sure that we have the accommodations that people are desiring. If you haven't filled that form out yet, please make sure you look in your email and complete that for us really soon before room selection, which we will talk about. Online, there is a virtual tour that you can do for the residence halls, and you can see the buildings. You can also see a map of campus and see where they are located. All of our first year residence halls are centrally located, so it's within walking distance, of course, of all campus, because we are a small campus, but it's walking distance to some of the most frequent resources that you will use as an incoming first year student, such as our Center for Writing Across the Curriculum, as well as the library, and also the popular dining facilities on campus. So it's important to realize that you are located on Central Campus, and we'll be talking more about some of the additional nuts and bolts, but all of our residence halls have parking nearby if you are bringing a car. However, it's not a requirement for first year students to have a car on campus. More information about parking will be updated on the parking website starting tomorrow for folks to kind of get that information about how do you obtain a parking permit. And around 3 o'clock during that session today, we will also be talking about some of that nuts and bolts as well. Within the on-campus housing website, you will also kind of see a 3D model of some of the residence halls. So you can kind of get a picture of what that looks like. In addition, since we're not able to do real residence hall tours like we usually would do during orientation, that is a substitute, as well as our YouTube video that is online.
So as I mentioned earlier, both Marcus and I serve as resident directors. We're live-in staff. So we live in community with students on campus. Other live-in professional staff, resident directors, and mentors consist of faculty, Christian brothers, clergy, and staff. So basically our role is to provide supervision to resident advisors who also are peer students that live in the residence halls with you. We also provide a lot of support and resources for residents in case they need anything like a home cooked meal or a home cooked meal, or if they need to they need academic resources, we can point them into the right direction. Resident advisors, as I mentioned, are student staff that also serve as resources for residents. So they provide programming in the residence halls virtually as well as in person, and they try to uphold the community guidelines that all of the residents will be creating at the beginning of the academic year. Resident advisors are peers to residents, so they are there in case there are emergencies. They can be very helpful and support students. Marcus? Okay, so where and how do students eat? All students living on campus do require a meal plan if they do not have a kitchen in their space. Predominantly first year students will require a meal plan on campus. They will be eating at different locations around campus. So we have Oliver Hall. It is the main cafeteria that's located central to campus. And Cafe Louie, which provides a grab and go option. For the fall term, to practice physical distancing, Oliver Hall is going to be abiding by different protocols. So more information will come about or in terms of what dining options will look like. Meal plans will also be described later on in an email for all students. And then we do have something on campus called Gale Flex Dollars. And these Gale Flex Dollars are kind of like additional money that students can use both on and off campus at participating restaurants like Mountain Mike's in Moraga. They can also use it at CVS, our local CVS on Ream.
And also Chipotle.
Yes.
They can use it at Chipotle and Lord's Ice Cream as well with their Flex Dollars on campus and off campus. You can use those.
So more information will be coming out to students via your email. So check your email about meal plan options. So now we're going to move into the nuts and bolts of room selection, and that will take place on Monday, June 29th, so this upcoming Monday, and you all will or should have received a appointment time, and so we'll kind of go through the different steps of room selection. The first step is paying your non-refundable housing deposit, and you should have done that during the admissions portion. Once you have done that, you then would have access to the housing application in which you complete and submit online. You received an appointment time, and then on Monday, June 29th, depending on what your appointment time is, you will log back into the online housing application. And then from there, it's kind of like when you select your flights on like airlines, you'll be able to select the actual room number and bed space that you want for the upcoming year. Please know that preferences are not guaranteed because we do have limited spaces on campus. So make sure to plan ahead in terms of if you want to live in Augustine Hall, kind of pick out those room numbers and kind of have a list of your backup plan in case Augustine Hall isn't available during your appointment time, and then you can pick or select something else. If you do need any housing accommodations, please contact and work with Student Disability Services. So now,
we're going to talk, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to go through a little demo of kind of the room selection process and how you'll do that. But just so you're aware, as I mentioned earlier, most of our residence halls are going to be set up as single occupancy spaces with some doubles. As well, it's important to note that when you are logging into StarRez, you'll be able to see the different room types and you'll want to prepare for that. And so Sam will start the video here for us to watch.
Hello, and welcome to your helpful guide to navigating room selection. The first thing to do in order to prepare for room selection is to fill out the housing application. The housing application can be found by going to your My St. Mary's and scrolling down to Campus Resources. From there, you will want to click on the link to StarRez, which can be found in the middle of the right-hand column. Once you have opened StarRez, click the link that says Visit the University Login page to log in. If you are already logged into your MySMC, this will take you to the housing application portal. Otherwise, it will prompt you to log in and proceed from there. Now that you are in the housing application portal, click the link that says Apply Here, located in the upper left-hand corner. Then click on the bubble indicating the correct application year, and then click Save and Continue. This will take you to the housing application. If you're a continuing student, many of your information will already be filled out. Please review this information to ensure that it is complete and accurate. If this is your first time filling out the application, please ensure that you fill out all required fields before room selection day. When prompted to select a meal plan, please choose what meal plan you would most prefer, even if you are intending to live in a townhouse where you would not be required to have a meal plan. Selecting your preference here will not prevent you from later requesting no meal plan. if you do end up living in a townhouse. Make sure you link up with any desired roommates before room selection day and get to know where you and your roommates would like to live. You can find a roommate either by searching the screen name of someone in the roommate request tab and then sending them a request, or sending a roommate request to one of the suggested roommates in the roommate request tab. It is very important to communicate with roommates before room selection day rolls around, because once a resident has been placed in a room, that resident is locked into that space for the duration of the room selection process. When selecting a space, you can use the drop-down menus on the room selection tab to help narrow down options and see what spaces are available. If no spaces are showing up under the drop-down menu, that means that no such space is available and that you may need to widen your search field to find an available room. Once you have selected a room and have placed any roommates you wish to live with, then proceed forward to confirm your meal plan and sign your housing license for the upcoming school year. You've now secured your room for the upcoming school year and are all done with the room selection process. Thank you for watching the room selection video guide. We hope that you now feel more prepared for room selection day. If you have any questions about the entire housing application process, please watch our housing application videos on the Campus Housing website, or contact us at 925-631-4241, or email us at housing@stmarys-california.edu.
We know you may have seen that video go by really quickly and you want to review it later. So please visit our website. We do have the video available for you online. And we're also going to link it in the chat because it is available on the YouTubes. So also, it's important to know, as the video mentioned, I cannot stress this enough, when you select your room on room selection day, it's at your lottery time slot or after. There's no ability to log in early and select a room. So if I have a 2 o'clock time slot and I am working until 2:30, I can log in at 2:30 when I'm done working and select a room. That's not a problem at all. You just cannot log in earlier. And once you put yourself into a room by selecting it, that is the room that you are locked into. So be very diligent and pay attention when you're clicking on buttons, because the system won't allow you to switch around. Once you've clicked the button for a specific room, that will be the room that you will be selecting for the academic year. And then if we have the possibility later to do room changes, we will, but it's very important. We get a lot of emails and phone calls that somebody selected the wrong space. And so we wanna make sure you're armed with the right information, that you gotta be sure before you click it, because that is your space that you're locked into. All right, moving along with our presentation, want to talk to you a little bit about kind of how to prepare. Once you've selected your room, you will want to make sure you write down which residence hall you've selected, as well as the room number, so that you can remember that, because that's going to be needed for mail and packages that you want to receive. You're going to be able to learn more about your specific residence hall online. And then you're going to want to make sure you check your SMC email for updates all the time from not only the Campus Housing Office, but other college offices. That is crucial, that you stay in touch and stay on top of emails that you receive. Some things that you want to make sure that you are packing for the move-in includes cleaning supplies, disinfectant wipes, sprays, gloves, sponges, face coverings and masks, thermometers, basic medication, flu vaccine, dish soap and hand soap, laundry detergent. In our laundry machines, you should not be bringing pods, so no Tide pods, those clog our machines. We want to make sure you're using the old-fashioned powder or liquid in our washing machines. Washers and dryers are included as part of living on campus, but you need to provide your own detergents and dryer sheets and things like that. As well as bringing your own dishes and utensils that you may want to use in your room, such as you want to make a cup of hot chocolate, you want to eat a cup of ramen or Easy Mac, you want to have those utensils handy and available. Information as well about what to bring and what not to bring is available on the campus housing website. And so that would be something that I would also remind people to take a look at. You don't want to bring an appliance that's not allowed in the residence halls, but you can bring and or rent a refrigerator. We will partner with a company that will be sending information out regarding that option for you too, to make it easier for you. But we don't allow like you to bring a full-size refrigerator and microwave and things like that. You have to remember our buildings, some of them were built in 1928, and the power consumption in 1928 is a little bit different than it is in 2020.
So we also want you to be prepared when you arrive on campus. There's a bunch of things that you will need to do in preparation for your arrival. So the first, and all of this is going to be online and will be emailed to you all, so check your emails. But first off, there is going to be a wellness pledge that we're gonna ask students to kind of agree with, and that agreement is going to really promote physical distancing, ensuring that everyone is wearing facial coverings at all times when you are on campus. We are going to ask and expect students to do online health screenings so that we can, and they're going to be daily, so that we can ensure that everybody is healthy and safe on campus, especially before you enter the residence halls. And we really urge students to download, if you haven't already, the Live Safe application on your smart device. Through that particular app, you will get a lot of emergency information, but then also that is where the health screening is going to live. And then we are going to be publishing on our website soon a lot of education and resources around how students can be safe during this global pandemic on campus. And if you have any other questions, feel free to kind of ask your questions, but then also check out our website once it's up close. I'm pretty sure it's going to be up soon, sometime next week. So just check your emails and check the website.
It's also important to know that as we focus on moving in, some of the important dates that you need to be aware of as an incoming student. So August 19th, mark that date, circle it. Tell everybody that you are coming to SMC to enter as a Gale. And that is move-in for all first-year students. We will be sending out appointment times, and we will be limiting the number of guests that each individual will be able to bring onto campus as part of the move-in. So please watch for that information to be sent out to you. We're also going to be providing information regarding the health screenings that will be taking place so that we can make sure that SMC is healthy as you all move in, as we will also be, as Sam mentioned, enforcing special parameters as it relates to move in to make sure that we are all remaining healthy and moving in an orderly fashion, so there won't be a large number of people coming at the same time. So watch for those details, more to be coming soon. Also, August 20th through the 23rd is what we call Weekend of Welcome. It will be a mix of both virtual and in-person events. More information will be coming from the New Student and Family Programs Office regarding that. Then on Monday, August 24th, that is the first day of fall term. And so it's very important that you know that we will be ready for you coming in this fall, and you can do things to make it easier for yourself, such as ordering your micro fridge, as well as ordering like linens online to have those delivered, as well as working with our bookstore on campus to have your books all ordered in advance of coming here, so you can just pick it up and go. Makes it really easy. Fall classes will take place on campus until Tuesday, November 24th. That is right before Thanksgiving. And then most folks will be heading home for Thanksgiving, probably that Tuesday, the 24th, if not on Wednesday, the 25th. And then final exams will take place online. They will not take place in person here on campus. And For those people that have to stay for some reason, residence halls will be closing on December 4th for people, but it's important to note that in between semesters, between fall and Jan term, your belongings can stay right in your room. You won't have access to come and go, so you're gonna wanna make sure you take everything that you need home with you for Christmas recess, and because you won't have access until Jan term begins, but you do not have to move out. Every year we have some people that think they have to move out, and they pack up everything to go home, but keep your things in your room until Jan term. Also, I'd like to point out a couple other things that are included in residence halls living. So we talked about laundry being included and it's free. We also provide Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi and wired internet in the residence halls for you. And we also partner with Comcast Xfinity on campus for your streaming needs for cable. So you can use a smart TV or any device that you have to watch TV. You're also able to plug into the wall through coaxial if you bring a TV. But if you have a smart TV, might as well tune in to get more channels available through Xfinity on campus. We also send out information to families regarding care packages that you are able to send your loved ones here on campus throughout the year to kind of give them a pick-me-up as kind of we go through the course of the academic year. It's always nice for students to receive a little package at the post office. Speaking of post offices, everyone receives a post office box. We call it a PMB box. That box will be your number throughout your entire time living on campus. When you check in, you are going to receive your room key, which will give you access to your residence hall, your room, and your closet. If you get locked out of your residence hall, it's important to know that you're going to get one free lockout each term. After that, if you have more than one lockout, you will be charged a $25 fee to be let into your room. Also, if you lose your key, it is $50 to replace your key. As I mentioned, you will be receiving a private mailbox key, a PMB key, and that is going to be the number that you're going to want to put on your address for all packages as well as mail that you receive. So everybody's address at St. Mary's is 1928 St. Mary's Road, and then you're going to put PMB and then whatever your PMB number is. And I'm going to ask my lovely chatters to put that address in the chat box for you all so you remember it, but you won't know what your PMB number is until we move in and closer to the beginning of the school year. But get ready for that. We also have some cool Amazon lockers for those of you like myself that like to shop on Amazon and pick up packages at random hours. We do have the Amazon lockers available on campus at our post office. You will also be receiving this summer your ID card. Your ID card contains your access to many things here on campus, including meals. You gotta swipe your card for meals in Oliver Hall as well as in Cafe Louis if you're using your Flex Dollars, or if we talked about using your Flex Dollars off campus at places like Chipotle or Mountain Mike's, you have to swipe your ID card in the machine there that they have in order to use those off campus as well. We also partner with the County Connection, which is the county bus system that takes you to the BART as well as to Lafayette, where you can go shopping at, like there's Trader Joe's, there's also some restaurants that are good to eat at in that area. But you can hop on the County Connection, free access to all St. Mary's students by showing your student ID. And then you also must show your ID to enter campus, especially after hours, as we want to make sure that we have a safe campus and only those that are needing to be on campus and permitted to be on campus are actually let in, because the gate goes down and public safety monitors that throughout the evening as well for us on campus.
So if you want to learn more about living on campus, check out our website, follow us online on our Instagram and our Facebook page, and also check your emails. I couldn't stress that enough. That is the main way that a lot of departments on campus are going to push out information and reach out to students. So always check your emails, especially over the summer, to prepare you for your arrival on campus. And if you need to reach either Marcus and or I, there's some information on this PowerPoint as to how to reach us, and our emails as well. And then later on in the day, you will be able, if you log in, you'll be able to hear from students and student involvement and leadership, the department on campus, on how to get involved and how to get connected and be engaged when you all arrive. And then later at 3 p.m., we will have Chief Mark Nagel from Public Safety to also do some Q&A about how to be and live safely on campus.
Thank you, Sam and Marcus. We are now open for questions, and I'm going to facilitate the many questions coming in. The first couple are about Assumption Hall. Will a 32-inch TV fit in an Assumption Hall, or how about any hall room? And then is Assumption Hall going to be all singles?
A 32-inch TV will fit in our residence hall rooms, all of them actually. If you are living in Assumption Hall and choosing Assumption Hall, most of Assumption Hall is going to be single residence hall occupancy rooms. There, I believe, are just a handful of double rooms in Assumption for this academic year, but most of the rooms, I believe it was about 98% of the rooms in Assumption, are set to be singles for this academic year. But if you are bringing a TV and if you are one of the people that are choosing to live in one of our double rooms, it's important that you talk with your roommate to make sure that both of you aren't bringing a 32-inch TV because our residence halls will definitely not hold two 32-inch TVs in size. So speak to your roommate if you're having a double.
Thank
Next
you.
question.
How will they be able to see the hall and room layout before selecting their room?
That's a great question. The campus housing office will be posting floor plans of the residence halls on the campus housing website tomorrow afternoon. So if you look after 5 p.m., you will see all of the floor plans, as well as in the floor plans, you will see S's and D's, which will tell you if it is labeled as a single room or a double room to help you in your planning for room selection, which takes place on Monday. So look on the campus housing webpage under residence halls to see the floor plans tomorrow night after 5 p.m.
Marcus, could you talk a little bit about the pricing for what the single rooms are and the double rooms? And then just so you're aware, I have placed the link to the tuition and fees into the chat so they can see specifically, but is there standard prices? How does all that work?
Great question. So if you click the link for the tuition page that Jim said that he posted in the chat, you will be taken to all the fees for the college, okay? And so when you are selecting your space, the specific room type that you're selecting will be listed there. So you will see traditional style single, traditional style double. And so as I mentioned on that map floor plan, you'll see D's and S's in rooms, and that will tell you which rate you are going to be paying if you select that space. And so the rates include the meal plan that you see, that you'll be selecting, because all of our first year residence halls and second year spaces do require a meal plan. So it's all encompassing of your room rate as well as your board rate. So look under traditional residence hall, single and double, because depending upon which one you select, that's the rate from the tuition page. If you are choosing from Aquinas Residence Hall, which is our suite style residence hall that I mentioned earlier, those you would look under suite style, single, or suite style double. Those are the rates for Aquinas Hall, which is a little different because it has smaller configurations for bathrooms in there. But all that is found on the tuition website. One-stop shop.
Thank you, Marcus. Sam, what the heck is an armoire?
That's a good question. So in the residence halls, there are either built-in closets or something called armoires, which are standalone bigger dressers that serve as like standalone closets. I don't know if that answers the question.
Thank
but
you.
Yeah.
Sam, are students allowed to make copies of their room keys?
They are not. And there's actually a imprint on the keys, do not copy. So I don't think you'll be successful in making those copies if you bring that to like a Home Depot or Osh.
And as Sam noted, those are special keys. As I talked about earlier, your key gets you into your building, also onto your floor and within your residence hall room, and also your closet. And not only does it use the top part of a normal key that you usually see those jagged little edges, but it also uses a couple other features on the side to be able to unlock. So that's one of the reasons, in addition to safety and security, that you're not able to make copies.
Right. And if you do lose your key, you will have to go to the campus housing office to report that so that we can make arrangements around getting you a new key and potentially, and then there's a fee for that, and then potentially changing the locks on the doors to ensure safety and security.
So I did think about one thing that I didn't mention earlier. When we talk about the furniture that comes in your room, the furniture that comes in your room needs to stay within your room. We don't remove furniture. If you say, oh, I don't want a desk because I like to sit on the floor to do my homework, can you please take out my desk? The answer is no, the furniture stays within. You can reconfigure and everything like that to your room, but all the furniture stays within. So if you have your lovely desk chair that you want to bring, your desk chair that's in your room, that also stays within your room. You don't take that out of your residence hall room. If things are damaged or missing, when we check people out of the residence halls, you will be charged for those.
We highly recommend that on move-in day, you don't bring your extra chair. Instead, you wait and see what your room looks like and what the setup is. And then we're also equipped to assist you in case there are any furniture damage or any, like if the lights don't work, we will show you, resident advisors can show you how to put in something called a work order. And then we'll be able to have facilities and maintenance come in to update those and fix those items.
Thank you. The next set of questions are regarding sort of the process between the Google form that they've hopefully filled out on Friday when they receive that in their St. Mary's email, and when they select their rooms on Monday. So Marcus, could you talk a little bit about if they selected a double, how do they go about selecting doubles? If they want a single, how do they select a single?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. As mentioned, the form that we sent out was really to kind of help us kind of guide some of where we configured rooms. It's not a guarantee. However, we're trying to make sure that we have things appropriately designed for the preferences that people had. So just because you put a double or just because you put a single on that form, you need to, when you're selecting your room, select from the list the corresponding rooms that you would like based on the type. So if I'm looking for a single, when I look at like Augustine Hall, and if it says room 118, it may say single next to it, and it'll list that it's a single. 119 in Augustine Hall may be a double room, and it'll list in the description that that's a double room. So it's important that you're making sure that you're selecting on Monday. It can be based, because maybe you change your mind based on that Google form. You filled it out last Friday, and then you came to orientation and you met some people online and you want to be a roommate and you've paired on StarRez now already. You can select whatever room type you want based on what's available at that time. Again, preferences, we try to honor them, but they're not guarantees, but we use that information to help guide some of the placements.
Thank you. Marcus, can you talk about the time between the end of in-person classes and December 4th? Can students choose to stay on campus, and will meals be available?
Great question. So the residence halls, most students do leave at the end of classes right before Thanksgiving, because some students don't want to go home and then come right back for online finals, right? And so if I live in Buffalo, New York, I'm not going to want to fly home and then just come back to St. Mary's. Some people may wish to live in the residence halls, and students are permitted to live on campus. However, there will be very, very, very limited services available to students after that Thanksgiving break. There will be dining facilities open. However, they will be kind of like a la carte, using your meal plan kind of thing, that you would have to purchase additionally if you're choosing to stay, because we don't want to charge everybody when they're not going to be here for food. And so that would be an a la carte kind of thing, but dining will have limited operations during that time period for those few students that wish to stay.
And then Marcus, could you talk about how students find their appointment times? And as a reminder, if you are not thinking you received the email, please make sure you're checking your St. Mary's email. And if you don't see it in there, check your spam. Sometimes the filters, it'll end up in there. But again, that email was sent on Friday. But Marcus, could you talk about how they find their appointment times?
So if you log back into your StarRes portal through your MySMC portal, you will be able to click on your name and your application for this 2020-2021 academic year, and then it'll tell you the time slot that you've been given to be able to log back into the system. And so one of the selections that the numbers, like it goes like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the top. One of those options says room selection. And if you hover over that room selection, it'll also populate what time you've been given for your lottery to come back and select your room in StarRes. If you can't find that or don't have it or having issues, please email housing@stmarys-ca.edu, and my team will assist you in finding out your lottery time.
And then Marcus, could you talk a little bit about if the room was originally a double but is now a single, will all that extra furniture still be in the room?
That's a good question. We will be removing some of the furniture from those rooms that have been converted from whether it be a triple or a double to a single. We will be removing the bed at minimum in each of the rooms, and we will be removing some of the additional furniture in some of the spaces. It really just depends on storage, but a lot of the furniture will still be available for your use in the room, but the bed for sure, and an extra desk chair will be removed for those rooms at minimum.
Sam, could you talk a little bit about the local Moraga area? Are there grocery stores, banks? What other stores are available, and is it walkable? Do we take public transportation? What's that like?
Yeah, so I actually forgot to mention that I'm an alum of the college, and fun fact, I've lived on campus for a really long time, so since 2008, and Moraga is pretty great, and I think that there's a lot of good public transportation that can connect you to kind of all along the Walnut Creek and the East Bay and San Francisco. But Moraga specifically is a really cool place. Everything is, I think, walking distance, or you can take the County Connection bus to the Ream Center, which houses Home Goods and TJ Maxx, which is Jen and I's favorite stores. And then also there are some banks, the post offices, the local post office is there. There's some eating areas. So if you're craving for sushi, if you're craving for pizza or Chinese food, there's stuff there as well. And then when you go into the Moraga, like the town of Moraga, there's also a Safeway. Students really love going there it's open 24 hours. So students love going there at like 3 o'clock in the morning if they get hungry. But that is also available around the area. And then there are a bunch of different restaurants that are walkable, but you can also take public transportation, and it's usually like a two-stop bus ride. And then you'll have access to banks and kind of the downtown area of Moraga.
Thank you. We have lots of students who are on this session who may be commuting for their first year. What from the materials we've presented thus far, what would be helpful hints for them? I'm thinking meal plans, some of what Sam just talked about. Any other helpful hints for commuters?
So as it relates to commuters, we do have the ability, some students that live off campus do choose to buy a meal plan to eat on campus, so in between classes and things like that, as well as it comes with the flex dollars where you can use it off campus. And so that's a great opportunity for you. Sam mentioned the different local shopping areas and the banks and the restaurants here in the area as well. There are opportunities on campus that students are going to want to participate in. If you come to the sessions this afternoon, where we're talking about student involvement and leadership, there's different opportunities there, and programmatically things happen on campus, whether that be through the first year experience program that you'll want to partake in on campus. And so those are some of the key things. If you are living off campus, you will not have a PMB box on campus, but you are able to use the post office as a service. And so they do shipping out of there. And so you can buy postage and all those kind of fun things at the post office. But if you would desire to have a post office box, they do rent those. So if you are living off campus, you do have the ability to pay to have a post office box here on campus, if that'll make your life easier. Also, in regards to some of the things that we talked about today, laundry is not available for students that don't live on campus, so don't plan on bringing your laundry to campus to do laundry. It's available only to those people that live on campus, and it's included in their room and board rates.
Also for students who are living off campus, specifically incoming first year students, we do have resident advisors amongst the residence halls, and you will get assigned a resident advisor so that they can keep you connected on campus. Just so that they can inform you of things going on virtually and around campus. And if you ever need resources, that's definitely the main resource that you can communicate with via email, and you'll meet them during Weekend of Welcome.
Thank you. There was a couple questions about athletes and when they move in. That will depend on the Division I athletic team, and athletics and housing work together to determine those dates, and we'll provide you details on that. Marcus, can you talk a little bit about dietary restrictions and accommodations for dining and working with our partners from Sodexo Food Service?
Yes, so Sodexo is required by their contract with St. Mary's to be able to accommodate a variety of dietary restrictions in the food that they serve and the offerings. So if you have a specific dietary restriction or concern, it is a requirement that you connect with our Chef Gabe from Sodexo, and Lauren, who is the general manager, and they would work with you to kind of understand what are your dietary restrictions and how can they best suit your meal plan needs. Like I said, they are required to do most dietary restrictions. However, there are a few that they're not able to do. And so in meeting with them, if they choose, if they let you know that they're unable to meet your accommodation because it may be highly restrictive, then they would then exempt you from the meal plan on campus. They've also worked with partners for some individuals who have highly restricted diets and dietary issues, and they've purchased groceries for those individuals on a weekly basis based on what those needs are. So you do have to work with Sodexo and meet with them and talk to them and provide them documentation, and then they make the determination if they're able to accommodate that or if they need to exempt a person from the meal plan. Also, it's important to know that when you are using our dining services on campus, it's important that you are enjoying the experience and you're asking the right questions. If there's something you're interested in and you're not seeing, that you ask, what about X? Like, so for instance, myself, I enjoy a good chicken sandwich. And so I may go to the dining hall on a Thursday and they're not serving chicken sandwiches. But if I ask LaTuan, who's back there cooking for us that day, she can possibly be able to accommodate that need. I had another student who For their diet, because they were an athlete, they really wanted to do some kind of like shake smoothie kind of thing in the morning. And so they worked with the dining service staff, and instead of eating the eggs or the omelets and things that they were preparing there, Sodexo would make for them every day a smoothie as part of their diet needs. So it's important, just ask one of the managers or one of the cooks there if they're able to do something that you don't see. We do have a food committee as well that gives recommendations to Sodexo based on feedback from students. And they do surveys regarding your satisfaction or things that you would like to see or things that were missing. Some days I've gone in there and I can't find the peanut butter. And so asking the question is going to result in a better thing than just being upset that they didn't have what you wanted that day.
Thank you. There were a couple questions regarding Assumption Hall when it says co-ed floors on this slide. I just want to clarify, though there may be men and women living on the same floor, you would never be sharing a restroom with someone of the opposite gender. Continuing with the food, the class of 2024 must be a hungry bunch. There's a lot of questions regarding fridges and micro fridges. What are the sizes of refrigerators that can be brought in? Where do they find the rental for the micro fridges? All those good stuff.
Yes, so when it relates to micro fridges, we, as I said, partner with a company who will be sending out in the month of July information for you to rent a micro fridge, and they deliver that to your room prior to your arrival, which is the easiest. It's a nice all-in-one combination unit that includes a refrigerator, it has a freezer section, and then it also has a microwave on there. And that works really great for our buildings on campus, mainly because of power consumption. As I mentioned earlier, we don't want power like circuits to break, to trip and things like that. And so we want to make sure that we're being cognizant of that with all of our appliances that we have and the things that we're plugging into the walls. So the micro fridge unit, it actually shuts off power to the other parts when it's using the microwave so that we're not tripping the breakers at all. And so that information will come out in July to you at your home residence, as well as we will be sending it out over email, as well with the linen information from on-campus marketing that we partner with for linens and care packages. Now, if you're looking to bring your own refrigerator, a thing that I would say, if you take the average human height, which I think is like 5'8" or something like that. And so if you think about, is the refrigerator my hip height about or lower is the size of a refrigerator you want. You don't want a 6-foot refrigerator coming into the residence halls. So we're looking at, is it about 3 feet to 4 feet tall maximum for a refrigerator? And especially as we have more high energy efficiency refrigerators, that size works fine in our residence halls. We ask students not to bring both a refrigerator and a microwave, again, due to the power restrictions in our residence halls. Bring a refrigerator. If you want to use a microwave in the residence halls, rent one of the micro fridges or buy yourself a micro fridge all in one unit.
Thank you. Sam, I know this will be covered a lot at the 1 o'clock session, but I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about, since most first-year students will be in singles, what different things might we be doing in the residence halls to help students connect with each other?
So there's, as much as we are going to be practicing physical distancing and be wearing our facial coverings at all times, resident advisors are going to try their best to plan virtual events in the residence halls so that all students, both on and on campus, can engage in programming. And then we are going to be working, well, residents can be working with resident advisors and resident directors to kind of just do some fun things in the residence halls while observing physical distancing. So we do want to ensure that students are talking with each other, communicating, engaging. And so there's going to be a lot of virtual and in-person events that happen within the residence halls. Is there any other questions about it?
Thanks. And again, 1 o'clock session will include a lot more info on that. So we invite you to attend that. Marcus, can you talk about billing? How does that work? What does it look like? Where do they find their billing? Is it monthly? All that.
Great question. As it relates to billing, on campus, we put on your student account twice a year. We bill twice. So half goes on in the fall term, half goes on in the spring term, okay? And so here at the beginning of July, we will place all your fall term charges onto your student account. We will then place your spring term charges on your account towards the beginning of December for the spring, okay? And so whatever the rate you see on the tuition page, you can plan on half of that cost being placed on your account in July, which the business office will be talking about kind of those payment arrangements. And that's going to be due in August. And then again in December, we place your spring charges on for spring. So half in fall, half in spring.
Thank you. Samantha was getting so excited she started coloring on her slides. So instead, we're going to take a look at Marcus and Sam and see their happy faces instead of the slides. Again, the slides will be up on the website. Marcus, we still have a lot of questions about how they choose their room versus, so could you talk a little more about whether a student is placed into a room or if they place themselves into a room, and how will they know if it's a single or a double?
So on Monday, during your lottery time slot or after, that is when you go into StarRez and you physically pick your room based on what's on the list, okay? So just like you go buy an airline ticket and you want seat 23A, you will go into StarRez on Monday during your lottery time or after and select 23A if that was the room number that you wish to have. When you log in and search the rooms that are available, again, it will say 23A and it will have a description right next to it that tells you if it's a double or a single. That's your clue to select what one is appropriate for yourself and which you desire. Once you click that room, it gives you a countdown of, hey, double check that you want this room. And it gives you like 5 minutes to say yes, to save and continue. And then once you save and continue, that is your space, okay? We in campus housing do not select your room for you on Monday. You're selecting your space. If you want to be nearest the bathroom, if you want to be on the second floor, you want to be on the first floor, you want to be on the far right side, whichever side you want to be on, you want to be closest to, say, the tree that's outside of De La Salle. You get to choose that. If you do not select your space on room selection day, which is Monday, next Monday, then campus housing will place you in whatever room's left, okay? So at that point, you need to select your room by Monday because come Tuesday, we will be placing all students that did not participate in room selection that filled out a housing application into the available spaces based on what we have, okay? Available at that time. So you select on Monday. If you fail to select on Monday and you've applied, on Tuesday, campus housing will be selecting the space because we will then be applying your charges onto your student account based on that room selection that you've made.
Thank you. Sam, could you talk a little bit about what janitorial services look like?
Yes. So we do have our janitorial staff that will be going into the shared common restrooms daily to sanitize and clean the restrooms, and it actually might be more times within one day. And then we do ask that students take out their own trash, although the janitorial staff will be available to also assist students in taking out their trash. But we highly recommend that students take their own trash out and make that a practice. And then although we do have janitorial staff disinfecting and cleaning, we did share in one of the slides to encourage everyone to bring their own sanitizing and disinfecting wipes, just so that you can also practice kind of the healthy cleaning and sanitization on your own. But yes, you will see custodial staff coming in and out of the residence halls and the floors to ensure that the common restrooms are cleaned at all times, and also replenished with toilet paper and paper towels and things like that.
And also on that point, to add to what Sam said, it is the student's responsibility to clean and keep their own individual room clean. Custodial services does not come in to clean your room, vacuum your room, things like that. This year, we're asking folks to be mindful of that. Because of health and safety, we want to make sure that you're taking out things on a regular basis, cleaning your own floors and things like that with a vacuum. If you have a little hand vacuum, that would be good for yourself to bring, because we don't have those available for common use for health and safety reasons. It's a bring your own vacuum type of situation.
We also have big trash cans outside of some of the residence hall buildings. So you'll be able to see that on move-in day. And that is where it's pretty much near every residence hall. So you can kind of locate your allocated dumpster, and then you'll be able to throw away, recycle your trash.
Thank you. There's a lot of questions regarding the meal plans. As a reminder, as Marcus mentioned in his presentation, what you see on the tuition and fees website when it comes to the specific meal plans will look different this year due to COVID restrictions. So that information regarding the All You Care to Eat, the AYCE that I see there are some questions about, that's on the website. That will be updated and is not necessarily accurate right now. Marcus, there's also a lot of questions that I know we've covered this, but I think it's worth it to go over again because it's an important point. A double room that's been converted to a single room that's a single, a double room that's a double. How does that look pricing wise on that tuition and fees website?
So let me repeat the question just to make sure I understand it correctly. So the question is, a single room that traditionally is single, how does that look different than a single room that was converted from a double room and so forth, right? Okay,
Correct.
So this year, all of the rooms that are singles, whether it was a single in years prior or it is a single for this academic year, are all the same price. And so when you see all of our room types and our floor plans, when you look at singles on, for instance, look at Augustine Hall floor map, when you are looking on there, any single that is listed on the 4th floor is a traditional style single, so it'll be smaller in size than a single that would be located on the 2nd, 3rd, or even the 1st floor. Same thing, all singles that we have in our residence halls that are traditional singles in De La Salle as well as Augustine are located on the 4th floor of the building. If you find a single on floors 1 through 3, those were traditionally double rooms that have been converted to singles for this academic year. If you are looking in Aquinas Hall, which is our suite style residence hall, the ones that are going to be listed as singles in Aquinas Hall, those again on floors 1 through 3 as well as the 4th floor of Aquinas Hall, those are our traditional style singles. And so those are smaller in size. So if you're looking for a larger single, I would suggest you focus on rooms that you may find in Augustine, Justin, Mitty, or Assumption Hall, and De La Salle. On the floors 1 through 3. If you're looking for a suite style, it's going to be the smaller size single. But again, all singles, no matter if it was a single last year or if it's a modified single for this year, they're all the same rate. Our system bills based on the number of residents that are in that bedroom.
There are a lot of questions regarding where do the rooms face out to? Quads, beautiful trees, hills, parking lots. What we would recommend is looking at the campus map, and somebody will put a copy of that, a link to that in the chat room to view where the residence hall lies. And then once you're looking at the rooms, you'll be able to find it for there. Here's a yes/no question that actually a few people have asked. Are the plugs in the residence halls 2 or 3 pronged? I guess it's not a yes/no question, but sorry, keeping you on your toes. Are they 2 or 3 pronged?
Great question. The answer is technically yes, they have plugs, and they are all 3-prong plugs.
Thank you. There's a decent amount of questions. I know they got answered somewhat in the chat, but it might be good for people to hear also. What are some of the small appliances that students could bring? There was one question, what appliances? You can't bring your own oven, stove, things like that, but what are some of those small little ones that you might be able to bring?
Sam is the expert at that, and she loves sharing that, so she'll talk about that.
So something that I recommend you not bring is any like hot plate things, because we acknowledge that students are busy and sometimes there is room to leave things on, like the hot plate. So don't bring any hot plates. I recommend bringing, maybe you could obviously bring a micro fridge. You could bring your own, in terms of like little appliances, you can bring your own like 1-cup Keurigs. You could bring those. You can also bring
A dust buster.
What's a dust buster?
That's a small vacuum for those that don't know an old 80s term.
Yes, you could bring a little, what is it called? Like a cook pot. You can bring one of those.
And I'm going to ask that my chat friends copy the link to the what not to bring, what to bring in the chat for you to click. That has a list of those things to stay away from.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that you're safe and healthy, and that we keep our buildings standing. So we think about safety when we're thinking about the things that you cannot have, which is what you'll see in the link that Jen is getting ready to post.
And yes, the bullet blender, you can totally bring that. A mini rice cooker, you could totally bring that. A little Keurig, you could bring that. An easy bake oven, I don't know about that.
I know what I'll be getting Sam for Christmas is a dustbuster. There were a couple questions regarding bikes. Can you bring a bike? What do you do with the bike?
Bikes, I don't own one personally, but I see people around campus with bikes. And so yes, you can bring a bike. There's lots of bike, what do they call those? Racks? Yes, those rack thingies. You can chain it up to. We ask that they not get chained to residence halls and on stairwells. Some people have biked around campus, although we're pretty small. It's a campus that you can walk, but some people like to go on the trails in Moraga that take you to Lafayette and Walnut Creek. And so you can bring a bike to campus and bike your way around. I'm more of the skateboard kind of a guy. Not really, but there are some people that do skateboard around as well.
Fine too.
Are there any ATMs on campus?
There is an ATM on campus. We actually have 2 ATMs on campus. One is located in the basketball arena on campus, and then we have one located in the 1928, the campus pub on campus. So it's centrally located for your use. They are by University Credit Union, which is an official partner of the college, and they are opening actually a branch on campus for this fall for you to utilize their services. Also, as Sam mentioned earlier, in the town of Moraga, there's banks such as Bank of America, Chase Bank just built a new branch. There's Wells Fargo, and a couple other smaller banks as well. So we have lots of money available to your access via card or however.
Thank you. There's other questions about parking and transportation. Please come to the 3 o'clock session regarding that, regarding transportation methods, things like that. There were questions about, can you have food ordered to you? Yes, you may. How are the residence halls, and we'll go over this at our safety and security at 3 o'clock, but what are the locks like on the residence halls? Can you get into them? Can anyone get into a residence hall? What's access like?
So the residence halls, you have access based on where you live to the specific residence hall that you live in. And so your key, as I mentioned, gets you into the building. It is locked. For instance, I live in Marjorie David Agino Hall. To get in there, you have to live in that building. And so anybody else, if say Sam comes over to my building, then I'm able to come get her because she won't have access to my building. So it's important to know that only people that live in the residence hall have access to that space to gain access. And you have to use your key.
Thank you. Here's a fun one. What's the difference between a mini fridge and a micro fridge?
A difference from a mini fridge and a micro fridge. So you think about, if you go to a hotel, they usually have a mini fridge in there. Those are those small refrigerators that are usually about 3 feet tall, or they're less than hip height. Remember I talked about being hip height refrigerators? Those are mini fridges compared to your regular size refrigerator that you have at your house. A micro fridge is a refrigerator, freezer, and a microwave all in one unit that uses one power source, and it shuts off power to like the freezer and the refrigerator while it's using the microwave to cook your popcorn, for instance, okay? And so that's the difference between a micro fridge and a mini fridge.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
And I would say another difference, Jim, that is very much the thing for people to know, is that if you bring a mini fridge, guess who's lugging the mini fridge? Not Marcus, not Jim. You get to lug the mini fridge up to the 3rd or 4th floor of the residence hall that you live in. But if you buy and rent a micro fridge, it's delivered to you. The company comes, takes it up for you, and they bring it down. The information about how much it costs to rent will be available on the website from the company. That will be coming out in July. It's about $200, a little over $200 for the academic year for them to deliver it, pick it up at the end of the year and everything for you to rent it. And if you're in a double room, it's great conversation to have with your roommate about, hey, let's go halvesies on this micro fridge unit, and you coordinate with your roommate making that happen.
Thank you. There were several questions I'm seeing regarding move-in day and what that might look like. I do want to be clear, because this is important, there will be a limited number of per student guests allowed, and we will also have some strict requirements regarding what that looks like and where folks can access. We will be in touch with students regarding that. Again, we want to protect our students as best as possible with their health and safety, and there will be limitations on what that looks like for move-in day. Again, move-in day is August 19th, It will be by appointment. More information to come on that. Marcus, can you just quickly share, how do you get in touch with Sodexo regarding dietary restrictions?
That's a great question. So for ease sake, Jen is going to put that into the chat window for the email address that you need to communicate with, in order to have those conversations. But if you have any further questions and need that after this call, because you miss it in the chat, then I will ask that you email housing and we will provide that to you directly. It's a long email address that I can't memorize.
Thank you. ID cards, I'm seeing continued ones on those. You will get those when you come to campus. The ID card does not get you into your residence hall room. You are issued a physical key, but as a reminder, the ID card is used for your food, for entry into the rec center, things like that. So you will definitely want to keep it with you at all times.
And if you haven't done so already, I strongly encourage you to check your portal to make sure that you've submitted your photo ID so that the ID office can be making those in the business office for you. We want to get those done for you as soon as possible, but a lot of you still have outstanding photos that need to be submitted for your photo ID with the business office.
Sam, could you talk a little bit more specifically about what cleaning of common restrooms looks like, please?
Yes, so cleaning of common restrooms include the cleaning of the individual bathroom stalls, so the toilets as well, the floors, as well as the showers that will be utilized by students. We are going to be practicing physical distancing in the common restrooms or bathrooms, and what that means is there might be allocated stalls for bathrooms and showers that will be used and therefore will be cleaned on a regular basis.
Thank
I
you.
don't know specifically what cleaning products and things are used, but they'll be cleaned.
Can we talk a little bit about if a student needs to be quarantined, what might that look like? I know details are still being worked out, but generally, what can students expect?
Yes, one of the things that we're continuing to do is work with our medical director here on campus and local health officials as it relates to quarantine and isolation so that we can make sure that we're providing you with adequate space to do those things should the need arise. So we have some spaces that we've dedicated on campus that are not contracted out to other students in a different residence hall for people that may need to be quarantined. And so that will be some of the opportunities that we have to provide that service for students, as well as we have been outsourcing an additional residential facility, a modular facility that we will be bringing onto campus in the need. If the need arises, we would house students in a modular residence hall that will also be for quarantined individuals. And so, as we've mentioned with everything that's going on throughout orientation, everything's fluid, and we're developing these protocols in conjunction with health officials because we want to not only have you be safe and your classmates be safe, but we also want our faculty and staff to remain healthy as well. So lots of changes have been being made here at St. Mary's for your arrival for the fall.
And with quarantine, we are also going to be coordinating and making arrangements about food and delivering food, as well as the cleaning and checking in with the student to see if they need anything, both virtually and from a distance in person.
All right, we have time for one more question, maybe?
Yes, we are nearing the end of our time, and I'm going to try to get a good one here. we continue to have a lot of questions about selecting their room. And I know we've covered this a lot, and we really want you to visit that video that was shown that's on the website. But just to be clear, Marcus, when they log in and they go to select a room, there are only two little symbols that will determine whether the room is a single or a double, no matter whether it has been converted from a double into a single. Is that correct?
That is correct. So again, when you log in and you see room 201 in the same line, right next to room 201 De La Salle, it will say academic year 2021 single, or if that room is a double, it will say double. And the words are spelled out, so you can't miss it. And so when you're reading Star Res, it says the specific room number and it says the room type under description. And then when you select the space, specifically if it is a double, there would be two spaces. But say Jim already went into a room 201 and selected a space for himself, but didn't have a matching roommate, and there's only one more bed space there, then I would only see one additional bed space for that double room. So again, the web description that you'll see in the Star Res tells you what type of room, and then when you select the room, if you're hovering over it, if somebody has already put themselves in the room and there's an empty space in there, it would tell you the name of the person that already selected the other bed in that room. And it'll tell you what percentage of a match you may be based on the survey that you did when you filled out your housing application in Star Res initially.
Thank you. I'm going to ask our chat room folks to once again, so that it's at the end of the chat here, if you could please put in the housing website, and then if you have it quickly pulled up, where is that video? It was a YouTube. I know it's way up early in the chat. We've had over 600 questions, so it's way up there, but if we could find that YouTube video and put it in there, also, that would be great. And I want to thank our presenters, Samantha and Marcus. A lot of great information. Again, this presentation will be posted to the orientation website, hopefully by the end of the day. We do invite you, most of the questions are actually answered on our website, so we invite you to visit that. And if you do have questions, contact housing or residential experience. Our next session is scheduled for 1 p.m. today. We really hope you make it, as there have been a lot of questions these past few days about how to get involved and how to connect with each other. And we'll cover a lot of that at the 1 o'clock. And then our last session today is at 3 o'clock. There's been a lot of questions about parking, transportation, security, things like that. And we'll be going over all of that then. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your time. Great questions. And we will see you later on today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.